Have you ever met someone who seems completely untouchable, someone who acts like they don't need anyone, yet secretly craves something no one else can give, someone who keeps their distance, hides their feelings, and pushes people away, but still longs for connection in ways they'll never admit? That's the world of an avoidant, and if you understand even a little of how they think, you'll see why most people try and fail to win their heart. But there's a rare kind of woman who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, and doesn't crumble. She holds herself with calm, strength, and clarity, and it changes everything. What is it about her that makes an avoidant stop running, start noticing, and quietly fall in a way they can't explain? There's something deeply fascinating about people with avoidant behavior. They often look distant, calm, and hard to reach. But the truth is, they value something very rare in a woman. Not surface beauty or charm, not the things people chase in today's world, but a kind of presence, depth, and calm energy that shakes their emotional walls without asking to be let in. Many people spend years trying to earn their affection by giving more, proving their loyalty, or fixing their distance. Yet, those things don't move an avoidant. They aren't impressed by chasing, pleading, or perfection. What truly pulls them in, though they rarely admit it, are a few special qualities that only a strong and emotionally mature woman carries. These qualities are hard to find because they require inner balance, confidence, and self-trust. When a woman lives in these traits, she becomes unforgettable. Not because she's trying to be, but because her presence naturally touches the avoidant's deepest fears and desires all at once. Avoidants live in a constant emotional tug-of-war. They want love, but they fear it at the same time. They crave closeness, yet they run from it when it starts to feel real. Deep inside, they fear being emotionally consumed or losing their sense of independence. So they protect themselves by shutting down and keeping their distance. But something changes when an avoidant meets a woman who knows how to stay emotionally steady. She doesn't chase after his silence with anxiety. She doesn't demand explanations or lose herself trying to fix his distance. When he disappears, she doesn't crumble or twist herself just to get his attention. Instead, she stays calm, at peace with herself, unaffected by his ups and downs because she understands that someone else's emotional storm isn't hers to fix. That quiet strength disarms him. Her calmness becomes the one thing he can't control or manipulate because it doesn't feed his chaos. It softens it. Most people think love means constantly proving their devotion, always showing up, always doing more, but an avoidant values something completely different. When a woman can control her emotions, stay grounded, and not take his distance personally, he feels something rare, safety without pressure. She becomes the kind of presence that he doesn't know how to categorize because she isn't chasing his validation or seeking her worth through his attention. At first, her calm makes him uneasy. It exposes his own emotional reactivity and fear. But with time, that same stillness begins to soothe him. He starts to link her energy with peace, something he's never truly felt within himself. Emotional stillness doesn't mean she doesn't care. It means she knows herself so deeply that another person's behavior can't easily shake her. It's the difference between being emotionally aware and emotionally dependent. This kind of woman doesn't have to explain her worth. Her silence already shows it. When he pulls away, she doesn't chase. When he comes back, she doesn't punish him. She allows people to show who they are and responds from clarity, not fear. That calm confidence draws the avoidant in. Her peace doesn't just attract him, it teaches him something about himself. The truth is, avoidants don't fall for chaos, drama, or emotional pressure. They fall for peace. A woman who embodies peace becomes a mirror to their inner confusion. She's the only one who can stay grounded when everything feels uncertain. To an avoidant, that kind of energy isn't just attractive, it's unforgettable. Avoidants are also drawn to women who have a spirit of non-attachment. The kind of woman who can love deeply without losing herself in that love. She isn't cold or indifferent, but she doesn't cling either. She gives affection freely but doesn't fall apart when it's not returned. For someone who fears emotional suffocation, that kind of energy feels both freeing and safe. Most people try to win an avoidant's heart by chasing them, by reassuring them, by constantly proving they'll never leave. But a woman who lives with non-attachment doesn't need to do any of that. She knows love isn't something to control, it's something to flow with. Her worth doesn't depend on whether he chooses her, stays, or gives her attention. It comes from a quiet knowing that she'll be okay either way. This energy makes her magnetic to an avoidant. He senses she isn't emotionally dependent on him. She doesn't need him to complete her. That energy lowers his defenses because he doesn't feel the pressure of being responsible for her happiness. When she steps back, he doesn't feel abandoned. He feels curious. He starts to wonder why her distance feels so peaceful, why her love feels both powerful and light. She becomes a mystery he wants to understand because she gives him space, yet still feels connected. Non-attachment doesn't mean she doesn't care. It means she refuses to grip love out of fear. When he disappears, she doesn't chase. When he returns, she welcomes him with softness, not anger. Her boundaries are gentle yet firm. She can love someone and still let them go when necessary. This confuses the avoidant because he's used to being either pursued or rejected. She does neither. She simply lets things unfold naturally, trusting that what's meant for her will stay without being forced. That kind of emotional independence completely changes how he sees love. Over time, he begins to crave her energy because it doesn't overwhelm him. She doesn't make him the center of her world, yet he feels more seen by her than anyone else. Her independence teaches him what love without control feels like, love without fear. The more she stands in her own power, the more he realizes that she's not the one who needs him. He's the one who needs her peace. There's another quality that deeply moves an avoidant, a woman's ability to hold her self-respect no matter what she feels. Many people lose themselves in love. They drop their standards just to keep the connection alive. But a woman with true self-respect doesn't let her feelings silence her boundaries. She can love deeply and still walk away if that love starts to take away her peace. For an avoidant who often tests limits through distance, silence, or mixed signals, that kind of self-respect feels both unsettling and magnetic. He's used to people bending for him, waiting for him, or trying endlessly to earn his affection. But when he meets a woman who refuses to beg, chase, or shrink herself just to stay in his life, she stands out. Her self-respect becomes the boundary he didn't realize he needed. An avoidant pays close attention to how you handle yourself when he withdraws. Do you argue, chase, or try to fix it? Or do you stay centered and choose peace instead of panic? A woman with self-respect never competes for attention. She knows her value doesn't change just because someone else fails to see it. That quiet confidence shakes the avoidant to his core. He begins to see she's different, not because she plays games, but because she values herself too much to beg for love. That energy both unsettles and impresses him. Self-respect changes the entire connection. Instead of trying to prove she's worthy, she simply carries herself with calm confidence. She doesn't need to convince anyone she deserves love. She knows she already does. When he senses that strength, it triggers both admiration and fear inside him. He's drawn to her because she reflects the strength he secretly wishes he had. She doesn't chase, she doesn't punish, and she doesn't collapse emotionally. She just chooses herself every time. Eventually, he realizes that this kind of woman can't be controlled by silence or distance. Her self-respect teaches him what emotional maturity really looks like, and even if he walks away, she stays in his thoughts. She becomes the woman who never begged to be chosen. the one who held her power quietly. That kind of presence leaves a mark on him forever because it shows him what true strength in love looks like. And finally, there's the quality of emotional depth without emotional chaos. Avoidants often see emotions as dangerous because, in their past, emotions meant pain, arguments, loss, or heartbreak. They've learned to shut down instead of feel. But when a woman comes into their life who can express her feelings with honesty, calmness, and balance, it wakes something deep inside them. She's not afraid to feel. She's just learned how to feel without drowning. That's rare. That's what captures him. She doesn't overwhelm him with emotional storms. She doesn't make her feelings a weapon. She shares her truth gently and clearly, allowing space for both of them to feel safe. This emotional depth shows him that feelings don't always have to destroy connection. They can actually build it. Her balanced way of expressing emotions shows him a side of love he's never known before. Love that's strong but soft, passionate but peaceful. For the first time, he sees that emotions aren't his enemy. They're a bridge. And through her presence, he learns that true connection doesn't mean losing himself. It means being understood without judgment. And once he experiences that, it changes how he sees love forever. Most people move through life caught in extremes when it comes to emotions. Some shut everything down, pretending that feeling nothing makes them strong. Others spill every thought and emotion in the hope that someone will finally understand them. But this woman lives in the middle, in that rare space of emotional balance. She feels deeply, yet she doesn't lose herself in the waves of her emotions. She can look him straight in the eyes and speak her truth without turning the moment into chaos. Her words are soft, but the truth behind them stands firm. That calmness, that sense of control mixed with honesty, quietly shakes him. It confuses him because it's rare. It shows strength without any hint of aggression, and it shows vulnerability without any trace of desperation. It's not a performance. It's not manipulation. It's just truth, grounded and pure. And that is what disarms him. Avoidant individuals are often terrified of emotions because, to them, feelings mean loss of control. They associate emotional moments with danger, conflict, or rejection. So when a woman like her can stay calm even when hurt, something inside him shifts. It changes everything. She doesn't lash out. She doesn't throw her pain at him or make it his responsibility to fix her. She owns it completely. She can look at him and say, "This hurt me," without turning it into blame or punishment. That kind of maturity is rare, and it hits him differently. He may not say it out loud, but inside, he's listening. For the first time, he feels safe in the presence of emotion instead of cornered by it. Her composure makes him curious. He wonders how she can feel everything so deeply, yet stay so peaceful. He begins to question the walls he's built, the beliefs he's held about emotions being dangerous. That curiosity becomes the first spark of emotional awakening for him. Her emotional depth doesn't just move him, it teaches him. It shows him that love doesn't always have to be loud, dramatic, or full of emotional roller coasters. Sometimes love is quiet strength. Sometimes it's the patience in silence, the gentleness in presence, the courage to stay calm when everything inside wants to react. When she speaks her truth without losing her balance, she becomes a mirror for him. She reflects the very thing he's been running from, connection that doesn't destroy but heals. He spent so much of his life avoiding closeness because, in his mind, closeness meant pain. But through her, he begins to see that intimacy doesn't have to be suffocating. It doesn't have to take away his sense of control. It can actually give him something he never thought he could have: peace. She shows him that emotions aren't a battlefield to win or lose. They're a bridge that can bring two people closer if they know how to cross it with care. Even when he distances himself, even when he pulls away like he always does, Her emotional stability doesn't fade from his memory. It lingers like a calm echo. He finds himself thinking about her composure, her soft voice, the safety she carried in her energy. He starts craving that feeling, the sense of calm that only she brought into his chaotic inner world. It feels like home, not a home made of walls and rooms, but one made of warmth, safety, and truth. That's the beauty of emotional depth. It doesn't chase, it doesn't beg for validation. It simply expresses what's true, then lets it go. It speaks from the heart and then releases the outcome. That's why an avoidant values it so deeply, even if they don't admit it. Because deep down, they're tired of the noise, the drama, the constant demands of emotional neediness. They're drawn to peace, to calm, to a kind of love that doesn't demand but invites. And in a world full of people trying to prove their worth, that kind of maturity becomes unforgettable. To someone who has spent a lifetime running from their own feelings, a person who embodies emotional safety feels like a miracle. She doesn't try to change him or heal him. She just stands in her truth and lets her energy speak louder than her words. And somehow, that's what begins to heal him. But emotional balance alone isn't the only thing that touches him. The next quality that reaches deep into his guarded heart is her independence, her unwavering sense of self. Most people grow up believing that love means dependence, that to love someone is to constantly seek their attention, their validation, their reassurance, that to be in a relationship means to lose part of yourself. But this woman doesn't see it that way. She knows that love is not about losing yourself, it's about sharing yourself without fear. She has built a life of her own piece by piece with patience and pride. She pursues her passions, her dreams, her growth, not because she wants to impress anyone, but because she knows who she is. Her happiness isn't tied to whether he texts back or not. Her peace isn't destroyed by his silence. She doesn't measure her worth by his presence or his approval, and that, to him, is magnetic. To an avoidant, independence like that feels both safe and dangerous. Safe, because it means she won't drown him with expectations. Dangerous, because it challenges everything he thought love was supposed to be. He's used to people leaning on him, depending on him to fill their emptiness. But she doesn't. She carries her own emotional weight. She doesn't need him to make her whole. And yet, she chooses him, not out of need, but out of want. That choice, that freedom in love, draws him in even when he tries to resist it. He can see that she respects herself enough to stand alone, and somehow that makes him respect her even more. Her independence doesn't make her cold or detached. It makes her magnetic. She can enjoy closeness, affection, connection, and love, but she never loses herself in them. She doesn't cling, she doesn't chase, and she doesn't smother. She has her own rhythm, her own boundaries, her own path. She knows when to be close and when to give space. She can be tender without losing her strength. That balance makes him rethink what love could really look like. For the first time, he starts to believe that maybe love doesn't have to mean losing freedom. Maybe love could be something that allows both people to breathe. He sees that she's not afraid to be alone, and that changes the way he sees her and himself. He realizes that true connection doesn't come from two incomplete people clinging to each other, but from two whole people walking side by side. She doesn't make him her world, but she welcomes him into her world. And that, to him, feels different. It feels safe. Her life doesn't revolve around him, but he becomes part of something bigger, her journey, her vision, her purpose. She brings light into his solitude, not by filling it with noise, but by showing him that stillness can be shared. For an avoidant, this kind of love is revolutionary. It's love without control, without cages, without fear. It's love that breathes. And slowly, as he watches her, he begins to understand something he never saw before. Independence isn't a threat to intimacy, it's what keeps it alive. Her strength gives him the space to be himself, and her calmness gives him the courage to face what he's always avoided, his own vulnerability. He realizes that she doesn't love him because she needs to. She loves him because she chooses to. And that choice, made again and again, without pressure, without demand, becomes the most powerful expression of love he's ever known. Even when she walks away, her presence stays with him. The memory of her emotional balance, her independence, her calm voice, her peaceful energy, it all stays like a quiet echo in his heart. She becomes the standard of what connection can feel like when it's real, not when it's forced or dramatic, but when it's honest, grounded, and free. And that's the secret truth about why avoidants value women like her so deeply. Because in her presence, they finally taste what they've been missing their whole life, a love that doesn't trap them, but frees them. A love that doesn't take their space away, but fills it with peace. A love that doesn't demand more than they can give, yet somehow inspires them to give more than they ever thought they could. Yet she opens her world to him when he chooses to step inside, offering a presence that is neither demanding nor overwhelming. That balance of intimacy and independence is rare, and it captivates him in ways that chasing, pleading, or trying to force closeness never could. A woman who is genuinely independent also sends a clear message. She will not accept disrespect or inconsistency. She does not grovel for attention or seek validation from others because she has a deep awareness of her own value. She remains composed and confident even when someone withdraws or distances themselves, never reacting with panic, anger, or desperate attempts to hold on to what she already knows is not hers to control. In doing so, she teaches an avoidant person something they often avoid confronting, that relationships can be empowering rather than restrictive, liberating rather than binding. Over time, he begins to admire her independence more than anything else. He notices the courage and strength it takes to love freely while remaining grounded in herself, and he slowly realizes that she is not a person to be controlled, manipulated, or possessed, but someone whose presence commands respect and admiration. This realization transforms the way he experiences connection. Instead of recoiling from intimacy or fearing it, he begins to understand that love can exist alongside freedom, and that a woman who can gracefully balance both is someone truly unforgettable. Another deeply valued quality that avoidance admires in a woman is her unwavering authenticity. In a world where so many people wear masks to be liked, accepted, or loved, a woman who is unapologetically herself shines like a lighthouse in the darkness. She does not pretend to be someone she is not just to earn approval. She does not bend, adjust, or reshape herself to fit someone else's expectations. She expresses her truth openly, shows her real emotions without shame, and acts consistently with her values, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. For someone who leans toward avoidance, often hiding behind emotional walls, detachment, or games, encountering someone so genuine is both unsettling and magnetic. Her authenticity forces him to confront his own defenses, insecurities, and the masks he wears to protect himself. While this might scare him at first, it also pulls him closer because the honesty he experiences is something he rarely encounters in others. Her authenticity communicates something profoundly powerful. She cannot be controlled, manipulated, or swayed by games. He quickly recognizes that she will not compromise herself to soothe his moods or accommodate his indecision. She has a strong sense of self, a clear understanding of what she wants, and an unwavering sense of what she will not tolerate. This certainty challenges him in ways most people never do because it confronts his habitual emotional avoidance. At the same time, it instills in him a deep respect and quiet admiration. He senses that she is a woman of integrity, someone whose inner world is stable and unaffected by his unpredictable behavior or attempts to provoke reactions. Her presence becomes a grounding, stabilizing force in the often chaotic realm of his thoughts and feelings. This quality also conveys profound confidence. She is at ease with her flaws, her desires, and her boundaries. She does not seek constant reassurance or validation from others because she already knows her worth from within. When he tests her, withdraws, or attempts to unsettle her, she responds with calm honesty, clear communication, and composure, never with desperation, over-explanation, or compromise. That energy creates a pull that is almost impossible to resist because it is so rare. Most people compromise their own truth just to maintain connection, yet she remains fully herself while also being fully present in love. Over time, her authenticity leaves an indelible mark on him. Even if he struggles with closeness, he cannot forget the depth of her realness. Her ability to remain true to herself reveals a type of love that does not rely on masks, manipulation, or games, but on freedom, presence, and deep mutual respect. This kind of love is grounding, magnetic, and profoundly transformative. For someone who tends to avoid vulnerability, it is an experience that quietly rewires his understanding of connection, showing him that genuine closeness does not mean losing oneself or giving up freedom. Her authenticity is not just attractive, it is unforgettable, and it leaves a lasting impression on him long after any encounter. Ultimately, what makes a woman unforgettable to an avoidant person is never chasing, pleading, or attempting to fix him. It is the rare combination of emotional steadiness, non-attachment, self-respect, emotional depth, independence, and authenticity. These qualities cannot simply be taught or performed. They are lived, embodied, and demonstrated in her every action and interaction. They signal a woman who understands her value, upholds her boundaries, and navigates life with clarity, courage, and grace. An avoidant individual may not always articulate it outwardly, but deep down, he recognizes that she is unlike anyone he has ever met. She does not rely on him to feel complete or validated. Yet, her presence awakens something inside him that no manipulation, pursuit, or game ever could. She is magnetic precisely because she is whole, because she challenges without demanding, and because she radiates a quiet, steady power that few possess. When a woman embodies these qualities fully, she becomes more than someone to admire. She becomes a force that is deeply respected, cherished, and valued. She leaves an impression on an avoidant that extends far beyond any fleeting connection or temporary fascination. In essence, she becomes the standard by which he measures all others, the benchmark of what genuine, freeing, and profound love can feel like. The way she holds herself, balances freedom with intimacy, and expresses unwavering authenticity demonstrates to him a reality he rarely experiences, that true love is not about control, fear, or emotional games, but about honesty, presence, and mutual respect. Her energy is magnetic, her presence unforgettable, and her influence transformative, shaping the way he sees himself, relationships, and the possibility of deep, sustaining connection. A woman like this does not simply enter his life. She alters the way he feels, thinks, and loves, leaving a lasting imprint that time cannot erase. She is remembered not for what she gives, but for who she is. Her quiet strength, her ability to stay centered amidst emotional turbulence, her refusal to compromise her core values, and her unwavering self-respect create a presence that is impossible to ignore. The avoidant notices it all, often subconsciously at first, but eventually the truth of her impact becomes undeniable. She is a living example of how love can coexist with freedom, independence can coexist with intimacy, and authenticity can coexist with connection. The more he witnesses her integrity, self-assurance, and grounded nature, the more he learns that relationships do not have to be fraught with anxiety, control, or fear. In every interaction, she communicates without words that her worth is inherent, her boundaries are firm, and her love is neither conditional nor performative. That combination of clarity and presence slowly shifts his perspective, showing him that the heart does not have to be a battleground, that closeness does not have to feel like confinement, and that true intimacy is rooted in respect and freedom. A woman who embodies all these traits becomes unforgettable not because of what she does or says, but because of the way she exists fully, without apology, without compromise, and without fear. To an avoidant, encountering such a woman is transformative, often redefining what he believes is possible in connection, trust, and love. She is rare, magnetic, and profoundly influential. Her presence lingers in his mind, her example challenges him, and her unwavering authenticity reshapes his understanding of love. She is remembered not for a momentary attraction, not for fleeting passion, but for the deep, enduring sense of respect, admiration, and quiet awe she inspires. A woman who lives with such balance, depth, and integrity becomes a standard that he unconsciously measures everyone else against. She is unforgettable because she is whole, independent, authentic, and self-assured, and because her love is both freeing and grounding, a rare combination that leaves a permanent mark on anyone who has the privilege to witness it.